Hello children, how are you all? I am fine here and I expect the same from you. I am Dakshayani, handling biology from Bardasnar Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakona. Children, today we are going to see 11th standard zoology, first lesson, the living world. Right, and what is the living world? Here we are going to discuss about the variety of organism present in this world. And the topic of discussion today is three domains classification. Okay, what do you mean by domain? Domain, it is the higher level in the classification. First is a kingdom, right? So above kingdom, the entire organisms in the living world was classified into three domains, and it was given by the person Carl Woese. What was the name of the person? Carl Woese in the year 1977, and he classified the organisms into three domains, right? What are all the three domains? First one is domain Archaea, second one is domain Bacteria, and third one is domain Eukarya or Eukaryota, right? And first we are going to discuss about the Archaea, right? And children, first we are going to discuss about the domain Archaea, and you see this organism, children, what is this? Yes, it is a water bear. It can withstand extreme climatic conditions. Even it lived in the space for many years, and it can withstand the high climate conditions from the volcanic vents, hot springs, as well as it can survive in the polar ice caps too. And now we are going to see what do you mean by extremophiles, right? And all the organisms under the domain Archaea are single celled. So if it is single celled, what we call? We call the single celled organisms as unicellular. Unicellular. And first we are going to discuss about the extremophiles. What do you mean by extreme? Extreme means adhigamana, migayana, right? So the organisms which live in extreme climatic conditions. Can we live in volcanic, what do you mean by volcanoes? Yes, Erimalai. Can we live in that area, children? No, but some organisms can survive there also. So the organisms which have the capacity to grow in extreme conditions like volcano vents, hot springs, and polar ice caps, such as the Antarctica fully covered by ice, right? But we can't survive there, but some organisms still survive there. So these organisms together we call as extremophiles, and they no need oxygen for their breathing. They require hydrogen sulfide. What is the thing, children? Hydrogen sulfide. They do not require oxygen for their breathing. And extremophiles can survive in the hot extreme conditions, and they can breathe hydrogen sulfide. Children, we require oxygen, but these organisms do not require oxygen. They can breathe hydrogen sulfide like these gases, because these gases are produced in the volcanic eruption regions, right? And next we are going to discuss the other type of the domain Archaea. So next to the extremophiles, what are the other types is that first one is halophiles, and next one methanogens and thermoacidophiles. So first we are going to study about the halophiles. What do you mean by halophiles? Halo means extreme salt condition. Some organisms survive in extreme salt conditions. So this is a salt. Some organisms like some bacteria survive in extreme salty conditions. Such organisms we call it as halophiles. And like the same word halophytes also there, children. Phytes refers to the plants. Some plants survive in the extreme salty water, right? So they are called as a halophytes. But here it is a halophiles, and it's a extremely salty areas. The example for the halophiles is this bacteria. Example, Arcobacter halophilus. Arcobacter halophilus. So from this the neat questions can be asked, children. Give an example. Identify which of the following comes under the extremophiles, which of the following comes under the methanogens. And next we are going to discuss about the methanogens, the organisms which produces methane, especially in the sewage. What do you mean by sewage, children? The waste water, right? Some organisms survive in the sewage and convert and produces methane. So the organism which produces methane we call it as methanogens. The example for methanogens is Methanobacterium. They are present in the sewages, right? And third type what you are going to discuss is the thermoacidophiles. So just look at this, children. Thermo refers to temperature. Thermo refers to temperature. Acido refers to extreme acidic conditions. Acidic, when the pH is less than 7, we call it as acidic. We also have the HCl in our stomach, right? So the organisms which thrive in extreme temperature as well as in the acidic condition, we call as thermoacidophiles. The examples, the organisms which survive in the hot springs, right? Hot springs. So what are the things we discussed under the domain RK, children? Extremophiles. Next one, halophiles. Next, methanogens, and last one is the thermoacidophiles. And I will ask you some questions. Shall you just answer my question? Give what are extremophiles? Yes, very good. The organisms which survive in extreme conditions. Yes, very good. Can you give an example? I told you to this, not given in a book, children. Just note it down. What is the what example I gave? Yes, water bear. Yes, very good. And we shall move to the next topic. And now it is given in your do you know box, children, and it is an important need questions also about the bacterium Thermus aquaticus. Thermus aquaticus, it is this bacterium Thermus aquaticus, and it produces an enzyme called as Taq DNA polymerase. What do you mean by Taq? T-A-Q. T refers to Thermus, T refers to Thermus, and AQ refers to aquaticus or aquatics. Thermus aquatics. So from this bacterium we get Taq DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase, it is an enzyme. DNA polymerase, and this is the enzyme Taq DNA polymerase enzyme, and it is used in PCR. What do you mean by PCR? Polymerase chain reaction. Polymerase chain reaction. Now in this corona time, during examining the coronavirus, PCR, they say PCR. What is PCR? Polymerase chain reaction. They will amplify the DNA, children, because from our sample they get only few microorganisms, genetic material will be there, and they cannot find the extreme entire thing about their what type of bacteria, what is an extent, they cannot identify from that sample. So first they will allow the DNA to multiply. So the technique which is used for amplifying the DNA is a PCR, polymerase chain reaction. So the organisms which thrive in extreme conditions, best example is Thermus aquaticus, and it produces the enzyme Taq DNA polymerase, which is used in PCR. Given abbreviate PCR. Anu, just answer my question. Yes, yes, polymerase chain reaction. It is an important need question, children. And next we are going to discuss about the next domain. What is the next domain? Yes, very good, domain RK. Children, now we are going to discuss about the two types of bacteria. First one is probiotic and another one is the pathogenic. What do I mean by probiotic? The probiotic bacteria are beneficial, right? Some bacteria are beneficial to us because we have some bacteria in our intestine also, which helps in the breakdown of food particles, right? Likewise, there are many bacteria which are beneficial to us, and some causes diseases also. So first we are going to study about the beneficial. So first there are few examples of this. First one is the cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria, the other name for cyanobacteria is blue-green algae. Blue-green algae. blue-green algae, and it is responsible for producing oxygen, and whatever may be the atmospheric level of oxygen, it adjusts and it produces the oxygen. Such organisms, such comes under the cyanobacteria. During the early periods, this cyanobacteria were used to adjust the oxygen levels in the atmosphere, and we can say them as photosynthetic bacteria also. And next one is the decomposes. What I mean by decompose, children? Decompose means magradhu, right? Just imagine if there is no bacteria in the world, what will happen? All the waste particles will be dumped. Only by the action of bacteria, the dead organisms get break down and it mixes with the soil as a nutrient. So without decomposers, this entire world will be full of pollution, right? So second role is the decomposers, and another example for the probiotic bacteria is lactobacillus. For what we use lactobacillus? We use daily, children. Yes, it is used in the curd formation. Lactobacillus, you all see how your mother prepares a curd. In a warm temperature, mother of the milk, mother adds some curd, right? What is present in the curd? We say that pureke uttaradu, like more. In that already there is a lactobacillus, and this lactobacillus when added to the warm milk, it entire thing will be, entire proteins will be broken down and it will be converted into the curd. So lactobacillus, which is used in curd formation. And next about the pathogenic. What do you mean by pathogenic? Diseases, right? Pathology is the study of diseases. So the bacteria which cause diseases, which is harmful to us, we classify them as pathogenic. There are many examples, children. One example is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. What is tuberculosis? From name itself it is clear. It causes tuberculosis. It causes tuberculosis, a breathing disorder in the human beings. So what are the things we discussed, children? What are the two types of bacteria? Probiotic and pathogenic. Give an example for the probiotic, lactobacillus. Can you give an example for a pathogenic? Yes, tuberculosis. Some other example, children? Pneumonia bacterium, that is pneumococcal pneumonia, also the best example for pathogenic bacterium. And now, start Palama. And now we are going to discuss about the third domain, that is eukarya. What do you mean by eukarya, children? From the name itself it's clear. Eu means true. Eu means true. Karyo means nucleus. So the organism which possesses the true nucleus, we call them as eukaryotes, right? We all come under the eukaryotes, children, and we have the true nucleus, and they have membrane bound organelles. For example, if it is a cell, nucleus is surrounded by the nuclear membrane, mitochondria is surrounded by the mitochondrial membrane, and Golgi apparatus has its separate membrane, endoplasmic reticulum is surrounded by its membrane. So the membrane bound organelles are present in the eukaryotes. And here you can see what is the structure of DNA. DNA is linear. DNA is, so in eukaryotes the DNA occurs as a linear like this, right? And it has a histone proteins. Histone proteins surrounded by the DNA strand like this. Histone proteins like this. And it also has ribosomes. Ribosomes are of 80s type in the cytosol and 70s type in the chloroplast and mitochondria. Yes, what do you mean by 70s type, children? S refers to the Svedberg unit. You see, we have 80s type. Smaller ribosomes consist of two units, smaller subunit and the larger subunit, right? When they combine, they form together 80S. Right, actually the smaller RNA, smaller ribosomes is 40S and larger subunit is 60S, but when they overlap each other 100, right, when they overlap each other 20, it becomes 80S. Likewise 70S type is formed. 70S type is present in chloroplast and mitochondria, because chloroplast and mitochondria have their own genome, right. So this is about the eukaryotic organisms, children. So after this domains classification, the person name R.H. Whittaker. What was the name of the person? R.H. Whittaker. R.H. Whittaker proposed the 5 kingdom classification, right? The 5 kingdom classification consists of Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia, right? So this 5 kingdom classification was given by R.H. Whittaker and they were classified based on their characteristics. First you see Monera comes under the prokaryotic and other all 4 kingdoms comes under the eukaryotic, and based on their number of cells, unicellular, multicellular, they are classified as Protista, and multicellular organisms Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Here both this Fungi and Plantae have the cell wall, but kingdom Animalia, we also comes under the kingdom Animalia, we don't have cell wall, we have plasma membrane only. So based on this entire structure, anatomy and cytology, R.H. Whittaker proposed the 5 kingdom classification. And next the 6 kingdom classification. Look children, in the 5 kingdom classification we studied about Monera, right? Here Monera is divided into 2, Eubacteria and Archaebacteria, and later same Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. So the 5 kingdom classification was revised as 6 kingdom classification, and the last one is the 7 kingdom classification. 7 kingdom classification was given by Cavalier Smith. Cavalier Smith. Here same children, bacteria, that is prokaryotes were classified into bacteria and archaea, and eukaryotes phylum Protista, right? It is converted into 2, Protozoa and Chromista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. So the 6 kingdom classification was revised as 7 kingdom classification. So there are many classification, we are following only the 5 kingdom classification of R.H. Whittaker. So what are all the 5 kingdom classification? Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Yes children, with this session comes to an end. Right, and with this we have attached the materials, assessment question papers and the interior need questions also. Go through the topic well and let us know how far you understood the topic. Thank you children, have a nice day.